For secondary education, the 1998 policy recommended two things. It said that at the secondary stage, all students will study compulsory subjects and optional subjects. So no matter what area you were studying in metric or in intermediate, you had to do certain compulsory subjects. Today we see them as English, Urdu, Pak studies, and Islamic education. In addition to that, you would study optional subjects in line with what you wanted to major in. So medical students do physics, chemistry, bio, engineering students do math, physics, chemistry, and so on. So they broke the curriculum down into compulsory subjects that all students had to study, and then a certain number of optional subjects that students chose depending on their future plans, their future careers, what they wanted to do in future with their lives. The issue of admission forms, conduct of examination, and declaration of result will be the same date and time. This was for the boards of intermediate and secondary education. All the admission forms by all the boards have to be received by a certain date across the country. No exceptions can be made. So all the boards get together and then they decide on a common date that suits everybody. Similarly, for starting of exams, for the particular exam papers, for the ending of exams, because after all, remember, the board has to deal with 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade. At least 4 years of testing has to be done by these boards, and so setting dates is important. Also, dates by which results will be declared. All boards declare their results on the same day and also at the same time. So it brought the boards more in harmony with one another, because all boards were now expected to do things within the same time frame. So no board could say, well, X board in Punjab is doing this, or B board in KP is doing that, and why are we getting less time? Why do they have more time? All the boards were synchronized. All the boards were now working on the same time frames. National Testing Service System will be extended to other educational departments as well. As we saw earlier, that the testing that NTS was doing was only for pre-medical and pre-engineering students. Students aspiring to get into medical schools and colleges, or in engineering schools, colleges, and universities. So the work of NTS was to be expanded over time, slowly, gradually. Business schools would be brought in, computer schools would be brought in, architecture and fine arts could be brought in, and so on and so forth. So NTS would not be limited only to medical and engineering institutions. The scope of NTS was to be increased so that the admission tests, other than simply the BISE results, were to be looked at by other disciplines as well. And so NTS was to improve and expand on its network of subjects that it covered. At the secondary stage, project method of teaching will be introduced and adopted. Instead of stressing the theory, learning by doing procedure will be utilized. Now this is 9, 10, 11, 12. If the project method or the experiment method or the hands-on teaching method was to be used, practicals had to be stressed. What we've unfortunately seen over the past few years is that the emphasis on practicals is declining, and even the practical examination is a question mark right now. Will it continue? Will it not continue? It now happens only at the end of 12th grade. It doesn't happen at the end of 11th grade. And so are we going to lose that completely? And if that is going to happen, I think we will revert to theory and not on practicals. Practical training, practical learning, practical experiences are important for our students, because that is what they will need in the job market.